Hey guys, welcome back to chemistry, and today we're going to be talking about Gay-Lussac's law. Now, what Gay-Lussac's law is, it's a law that talks about the relationship between pressure and temperature. And really what the law describes is that pressure times temperature will always equal the same constant. Really, and what that tells us is that as pressure goes up, temperature will also increase. And this should be very intuitive to you guys. What you guys might think about are teapots, which I will go over in a second. For now, I just want to go over these box containers, these representations of containers. So let's say I have this box, and inside the box I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gas molecules. What I do to the box is I set the box on fire. Right, I add heat to the bottom of the box. Well, what does that heat do? Right, the heat is going to increase the temperature of the inside of the box. And as the temperature goes up, these 7 gas molecules, what's going to happen to them is that their speed is going to increase. They're going to start moving. There's still going to be 7 of them inside the container, but they're going to be moving with much greater velocities. And as these gas molecules move faster, what they do is they're going to bounce into the walls of its container, and these ones bounce in with a little bit of speed, right? They hit the walls of the container. After they heat it up, they bounce into the walls of the container with much greater speed. And what that does is it increases the pressure, right? If you have a greater force hitting the side of the container, that means you have a greater pressure. So as temperature goes up, the speed of the molecules increase, and as the speed of the molecules increase, the pressure increases as well. This rule can be seen in teapots as well. Right, so just to give you a real world example of this, let's say we have this teapot. It's misshapen teapot. Let's say we have this teapot, and you put it on the stove. Well, before you put it on the stove, you have to fill it up with water. You fill it up with cold water and you put it on the stove. Well, what does water do? Well, what water does is it evaporates, right? There. What water does is it evaporates. And what evaporates means the stuff turns from a liquid to a gas. So you have these gas molecules evaporating. As you heat it up, the evaporation happens at a lot easier, and you actually have more gas molecules up here. Let's say you keep it on the stove and it keeps heating up. You have more gas molecules building up inside of here, and then the water starts to boil, and then all of a sudden you have this big burst of gas molecules now that are building up in here. Well, eventually it'll get to the point, as you get more and more gas molecules up here, the pressure gets increased more and more and more. Right? Eventually, there's not enough room inside of the top of the empty space up here in the container to fit all the gas molecules, so they force themselves through this narrow passageway and out the narrow hole. And what that does is it causes the teapot to produce a noise because the gas molecules are forcing their way past this little narrow passageway, and that's how we hear the whistling. And what did we do here? Really, we did the same thing as before. The temperature of the container increased. Right, the temperature increased, and that caused this pressure up here to increase as well. The pressure increased. So in the next video, I'm going to get into the equation behind this idea. This is really just the introduction to Gay-Lussac's law.